Hi, everyone. This is Fahad Malaika coming to you from Washington, D.C. with the sixth edition of the NESA Alumni Virtual Interview Series. Today, we are joined by a longtime NESA alumnus, Dr. Arslan Chikhaoui from Algeria. Arslan is the executive chairman of the Nord-Sud Consultancy Center based in Algiers, and he is a senior consultant and well-regarded media analyst on international affairs. I have known Arslan for a number of years through the regular series of NESA AFRICOM workshops that are led by Professor Anne Moissan, and I know that both Anne and I always appreciate Arslan's very candid insights. Arslan, I'm sorry we haven't met in a while, but that's the reality under COVID-19, but we do really appreciate you taking the time to join us today. I want us to focus primarily on the topic of outside players and partners in Algeria. This is a particularly timely talk given the not too distant visits to Algiers by General Townsend, the Commander of U.S. AFRICOM, and followed shortly thereafter by Secretary of Defense Mark Esper, which, by the way, was the first visit of a U.S. Secretary of Defense since 2006. We would be remiss not to contextualize this talk with the recent U.S. presidential election results in mind. And we have to note that Mark Esper is actually now a former Secretary of Defense because he was just let go by the Trump administration yesterday. Nonetheless, all that said, hopefully we can delve into current relations with the United States in light of those visits, as well as the historic and current relations with Russia and perhaps the EU, and finally the growing influence of China amidst COVID-19 and its so-called health diplomacy, which you wrote about in an article for us, which we posted to the NESA website a few months ago. All of this touches on so-called great power competition, which at least currently is a driver of U.S. Department of Defense policy, although there could be shifts or new approaches under a new Biden administration. For those watching who may not closely follow the North Africa arena, we will start with some general questions and then move to more specific ones. So that brings me to my first question for you. To start, can you tell us which outside countries and partners are working with Algeria and what specific converging interests exist? Over to you.
Thank you, Fahad, for inviting me to this interview. Long-standing relation with NESA, almost 15 years from where I started with NESA. I'm happy to answer to your question. As maybe you know, Algeria within the Mediterranean region is one of the key players in the region for many reasons. First, because it has a long-standing relation with EU. Second, because it's well located, geopolitically speaking, or geographically as well speaking, and also because there is a deep relationship between the second area, which is the Sahel. So Algeria is between the two oceans, as we always say, is between the Sahel as an ocean and the Mediterranean as a sea. So regarding this, Algeria since '62 tried to play a role with its partners as a balanced role. What is Algeria looking for? Is looking for a balanced relationship between all key players in the region. Yes, with the United States, we have a long-standing as well relationship. If I may rank the partners of Algeria, I can say that for example, with France, it's a historical partner. It's considered as a historical partner. United States is considered as a strategic partner, a new strategic partner. If I take some other partners as China or Russia are considered since they have supported the revolution against the French to get the Algerian independence is considered or are considered, both of them, China and Russia, as allies, not partners. It's more than a partner. They are allies to Algeria. We have, as we said, punctual punctual partners, as Spain, for example, as Germany, for example, or other countries within the European Union. So more or less, we have five ranked partners in Algeria. Yes, regarding the COVID-19, China is trying to not trying. China is playing a new diplomacy, which is a health diplomacy or science diplomacy. But more than that, I can say that China is playing a smart power. It's not a soft power as we know. I mean, but it's more than this. China wants to be key player within 2049. So China is trying to strengthen, to reinforce, to deepen the relationship with Algeria through this smart diplomacy, in order to use Algeria as a door to the Mediterranean, because Algeria is well located. Algeria is located within the Mediterranean, as I said before, within the Sahel, within the North African country, within the North Africa region, which is the Maghreb and the Middle East. It's key, and also because it's a long-standing, or because Algeria has a long-standing relationship with China since the revolution against the French.
Thank you, Arslan. That's an excellent overview, and you touched on parts of my next question, which is, what does Algeria hope to gain in future partnerships, and with whom? Over to you.
I mean, Algeria, in his history, or in his way to deal with its partners, Algeria and its foreign policy. Regarding the Algerian foreign policy, Algeria wants a balanced relationship with partners. Algeria doesn't want any monopoly of a partner. This is key, and this is a sort of doctrine. This is a sort of principle within the foreign policy of Algeria. Algeria wants to, of course, have or wants to diversify the partners, and wants to have a balanced partnership with U.S., with EU, with China, with Russia, without any or without giving any monopoly to any country. We call it in Algeria diversification of partners. With U.S., for example, the partnership is more connected to counter violence extremist organization, or terrorism as known. This is what with U.S. Algeria is trying to develop, or is trying to enhance and to consolidate.
Thank you. That's actually an excellent segue into my next question. We know that U.S.-Algerian relations have historically been what we might call lukewarm. That said, can you tell us what you think were some of the Algerian impressions of General Townsend and former Secretary of Defense Esper's recent visits? Over to you.
I think those two visits happened recently, and as you already said, that these visits are the first since long time, since 2016 and 2008, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, those two visits means a lot for Algeria. The message that is perceived is that U.S. doesn't want to leave the region, to leave Africa. The second message that we can learn from this visit is that United States consider Algeria as a key expert or a key partner to fight malicious threats. One of them is terrorism or a violent extremist organization. So the experience and expertise of Algeria, as the U.S. DOD mentioned during his visit, is that United States wants to rely on the expertise of Algeria in fighting terrorism, especially within the Sahel region. As a lot of you know, that the Sahel is let's put it like this: it's an ungoverned space with huge borders with Algeria. Huge means more than 6,000 kilometers totally bordered with Algeria. So the messages which came through this visit are that United States is not leaving the region, and is looking at the region as a key region, but also looking to Algeria as a key partner for the future.
Thank you. So that brings me to my next question. What are your thoughts on so-called great power competition, either in Algeria or more broadly in North Africa and the Sahel region? Over to you.
Yeah, I think there is this sense of competition. We are noticing that there is a competition between these great powers, and we have, I think, from our perspective, from Algerian perspective, is that we consider China as a great power, not yet a military power, but an economic power. Strategically speaking, China is trying to be present within the region without conditionalities. The issue of conditionalities to get into partnership with other main players or main powers as EU or US is connected to conditionalities. One of the conditionality is, for example, that the Western countries are trying to promote what is so-called the universal values, without taking into account our own values, or our own the regional values. This is what China is not doing. So China has to be considered as a real competitor. Because of that, the approach is completely different. It's not an approach, as we said it in French, avec les gros sabots. Is not coming as a big gendarme, okay? But China is playing is playing softly and smartly with the countries within the region. Why? Because China is taking into account that most of the countries of the region are young countries in terms of independence. They just got independence 50 years, almost 50 years, 50 years of independence is nothing. It's a young countries. So the approach is completely different. The Western countries are considering the region as a region that has to move very quickly. And the problem is this, is that the region could not move very quickly. It's very important to understand that, and has to move with its own speed and with its own values. Again, the powers that are in competition are taking into account the local values differently, and the approach is different. So be smart, more than soft, and not using the hard power as it has been used in the Middle East. So this is what we are aiming to what Algeria or some countries within the region are aiming to reach, is to get again a partnership, a smooth and soft partnership with the West, well, with the key players.
Thank you, Arslan. So let's put great power competition aside for my next question. And I think we should also take into account the recent U.S. presidential election results. So while not in any competition with Russia, China, or any outside actor, where can the United States under a new Biden administration focus its energies in Algeria to further help or enhance the country? In other words, what would Algeria like to see from a new presidential administration? Over to you.
Thank you. Yes, the new administration is not so new for us. It's just the face that is changing. So what Algeria is looking is that U.S., even the Democrats or the Republicans, has to follow the how to say this again, not hegemonic relationships, which means that we don't need any more a war within the region. We don't need any more low intensity conflicts within the region. What he's looking for is that this administration has to play, again, as China is playing, a smart power. So move what we can ask to the, from my perspective, we can ask to the President Joe Biden administration or the Democrats administration, is to shift from this soft power that has been used during the Obama's administration to shift it to a smart power. We need a real partnership, a real partnership, a real sharing of information, and more than that, sharing defense within the region. We don't need any more wars within the region, but also we need to sort out or to solve the low intensity conflicts within the region, as the one that we have on the west side of the country, which is the Western Sahara issue, or the Libyan issue, or the Malian issue. So United States could play under the Joe Biden administration a role to sort out these key tensions that are undermining the region.
Thank you, Arslan. That is a great segue into my final question, where I want to turn the tables a little bit and ask you, What is Algeria's role as outside player in North Africa and the Sahel, specifically in Libya and Mali, for example? Over to you.
Algeria is calling for always a political solution, dialogue, inclusive dialogue. This is key. Algeria is putting the political process, or putting the political dialogue, inclusive political dialogue, and political solution as key within the region. Any military solution is not a solution, either within Libya or within Mali, or within the Sahel, within the whole region. Algeria is in favor of any political solution, and this political solution has to integrate a dialogue, an inclusive dialogue within Libya, for example, but also is trying to promote reconciliation process, as Algeria has done it internally in the 90s. Algeria has an experience with that, civil concord and reconciliation. These two processes bring stability and serenity within the country. So what Algeria is looking for, or what Algeria is calling for, is a political solution for Libya, political solution for Mali, as element to stabilize the region. Again, this is shifting from soft power to smart power.
Arslan, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate your candid insights, as always, and we are honored to count you among our alumni ranks. I know that your remarks will prove of great interest to our stakeholders and our alumni. And by the way, Anne Moisan says hello. And to everyone watching from home, we wish you happiness, safety, good health, and prosperity. Take care, and until next time. Bye-bye.